take that news conference live for you as they come out, as they try to prepare. They're coming out now. We're watching interim police chief Orlando Wilson coming up. You can also see in this video the superintendent, Lisa Harrington, as well. There's Mayor Randall Woodfin, but we'll start with
Chief Orlando Wilson, Birmingham Police Department. We're taking the lead on the investigation of the incidents that took place this afternoon, somewhere between 3:15 and 3:30 this afternoon at Huffman High School. I'd first like to take a moment to send condolences to both families. We have two victims in this. And I'm deeply moved by what has happened here. Excuse me. And I'd like to start off by saying, condolences to those families. At the present time, we did have an incident to occur where there was an alleged shooting into the school. We have two victims. We have an ongoing investigation. With that investigation, we're going to sort out the information as it comes, and when that information takes us, or wherever it takes us, then we'll act accordingly. Right now we have a lot of unanswered questions, and so I'll just take this moment right now because we have so many questions, to take questions from you all because there are so many unknowns at the time.
Andrew Donnelly with ABC 3340. What is the condition of both of the victims at this time?
At present, we have a black male who has sustained a gunshot wound. We also have a black female, both age 17, who have sustained gunshot wounds. We have a black female who is deceased.
Can you tell us the age of the deceased victim?
The deceased victim is 17 years of age.
So all three are 17?
There are only two people that I have at the moment.
And can you talk about if this was a relationship that they were in? We're hearing a lot of information about this being a football player here and a girlfriend.
Those dynamics I do not know. Again, that's part of our investigation.
Are there metal detectors? Are there metal detectors at this high school? And if so, how did a gun get into this high school?
Again, all of this is part of our investigation. We have the school staff, school security. They'll be part of our investigation to ask and answer those questions for us as well.
Now, did this happen on the second level of the school?
I'm not sure what level it happened on.
I did hear from a student that there are in fact metal detectors here, and I don't know if there's a school official that can answer this question, but he says those are not utilized at all. Can we answer that question?
Again, I cannot answer that question. However, as part of our investigation, we'll be asking those same questions and we'll get those answers.
Chief, how many gunshots were there?
Say again?
How many gunshots were there?
Right now, we do know that we have two victims. We do know that they both were shot. So I'm going to say, for what I know now, there were at least two gunshots.
Chief, I have received information that the boy was showing off his gun. It discharged. He shot the girl who died and then shot himself in the abdomen as he was trying to put it back in his pants. Can you confirm that?
I cannot confirm that.
Are we still considering this an accidental shooting?
At this particular time, we're considering it accidental until the investigation takes us elsewhere.
The 17-year-old male, though, that was shot, he was the one who shot the girl who is now deceased.
We can say that there were shots fired. We are not saying that he shot her. Our investigation will tell us exactly what happened. We've been asking questions from the staff, from the students, from anyone that was in this area. We are asking those questions so we can determine exactly what happened. So we are not saying that he shot her. We're not saying he did not shoot her. We're saying that our investigation will tell us exactly what happened.
Is there surveillance here inside the school?
There are cameras inside the school, yes.
Have you all looked at that footage?
We will be looking at that footage, yes.
So you haven't? Okay.
We had a threat last week on a Birmingham middle school. A gun was found on a student. They wanted them when they came through. Has security been heightened at all Birmingham schools since that threat?
The best way for me to answer that is to say this. I can't say what's happening at those Birmingham schools because we do have school resource officers who are at those schools. They have a job, they have a mission, they understand what has been going on at those schools. But as for this school tomorrow, it definitely will be heightened.
Were lockdown procedures properly followed today?
It's my understanding that when this happened, school was actually in the process of being over for the day, and that this situation led to a lockdown procedure, yes.
Chief, you did recover a weapon here, correct?
Yes, we did.
This is not a situation where someone has, as far as you know, come into the school and fired randomly?
No, it's not. It's not a random, it's not where someone from the outside came into the school, no.
Can you tell us about the weapon?
No.
How was the weapon discharged?
That we don't know. We're hoping that if we have footage, we're hoping that that footage will reveal it. If we have witnesses, we hope they'll tell us.
Since you have the weapon, have you been able to run it to see if the weapon was stolen, who it belongs to?
The weapon is in our possession at the time. Again, there are processes in place that we have to use to determine all that. We have it as evidence at this particular moment.
Have you spoken with any of the victims' families, and if so, can you talk about that conversation?
We've not spoken with them. It's our intention, both mine and the mayor's, to speak with both victims, the families, and to give our condolences. And this should not happen.
Do we have
Point
any-
blank, let me talk, please. This should not happen in schools. We send our kids to school, and things of this nature happen. It's unfortunate. I'm deeply moved by it. I have kids of my own. So what I'll say here is, let us do our job. Let us do what the process says that we're supposed to do. We'll give you the answers as they come. We'll be more than happy to share what we know. But let us do what due diligence and due process leads us to.
Do you know how many students were here at the time, about how many students?
I haven't, that's a question I would have to push over to the school board and let them
Commissioner,
answer.
we had heard that there was a third employee or an employee involved in some kind of way, injured and released. Is there any-
I do not know of that. I can actually say that in trying to get to the school and driving, when I came over here, I just knew of the two. If there's a third, then I'm not aware of it. If there is, I will make you all aware of it.
Where were the students shot? On their bodies?
I will not go into those details.
Do we have any information about students, because the bell had already rang, is that correct? And then the shooting happened?
I am not sure. Again, these are the questions we're trying to ask. I can't give you a particular time when this happened. The only thing I can tell you is it did happen somewhere between 3 and 3:30. Okay? And so once we talk to everyone, once we talk to staff, once we talk to students, once we talk to faculty, then we'll know better, and we can get a timeline down so we'll know what happened.
Do we know if students were brought back in after the shooting happened and taken into classrooms?
There are students that we are questioning in relation to the incident. We also allowed parents of those students who were outside awaiting those students that were inside. We brought them inside so that we could give them access to their kids just as soon as we finished questioning them.
How many students have you questioned?
I'm not sure what that number is.
And they were questioned as witnesses or potential suspects?
No, as witnesses to the events.
Chief, was there a fight or struggle before you got shot?
Not that I know of. Again, all I know is what I've been told. So anything that we have, I don't know if there's video. I don't know anything of that nature. So that's part of what our detectives will be looking at to see if there is actual video that's been captured. They'll be talking to students to see if they've given us any information, what have you, and then we'll make that available.
How do you tell a parent that their child has been shot and killed at school?
Say again?
How do you tell a parent that their child has been shot and killed at school?
The best I can say is that that's a hard one, and we had to do it. It has been done. That parent now knows what happened to their child. And I don't know how you tell a parent that.
How do you ensure to parents and students that come back to class tomorrow that Birmingham City Schools are safe?
Tomorrow, we will be here. Tomorrow, we will have police here. Tomorrow, we will follow the procedures that are in place. And tomorrow, we'll ensure that this school is open and doing the business that it's supposed to be doing. We also know that tomorrow, according to staff, we'll have these students here. They'll be talked to. We'll have counselors here. We'll do those things to let them know what's going on.
If I can interrupt for a moment, for a brief statement from Dr. Herring and Mayor Woodson.
So as you're already aware, we've lost 2 of our scholars in Birmingham City Schools today, one due to a fatality and the other due to this event. They are both victims. Our goal is to reassure our parents that as much as we can, we will work to keep our schools safe. But our hearts and our minds are on the families tonight. How do we tell parents that their school is safe after an event like this? And how do we reassure our children? That is the work that we will take on every single day. And of course, we will heighten security, not just here at Huffman High School, but all of our schools. Our principal and the staff here at Huffman High School, for as much as they have been able to tackle a very difficult day, have done an exceptional job of trying to provide care and concern for those who were in the building and those who exited out. As the chief has shared, tomorrow there will be a full crisis team here on site all day and the following days. We are most concerned, as I shared, about our families and the child who is no longer with us. And we'll not only put every effort to support the family, we've got to do that for every child in Birmingham City Schools.
Dr. Herring, you mentioned losing 2 students. I just want to be clear, so both students in this incident or another student?
No, I'm referencing the fact that 2 victims have surfaced today, regardless of the circumstances tied. And as the chief has shared, 1 has been a fatality. And the other is the student who was involved in the incident.
Okay, so you're talking
That is
about
all.
one incident.
That is correct. 1 incident, 2 students.
Dr. Herring, one student told me that there are fewer resource officers on campus today than there were last year. Is that the case? Because that's something that this student said, suggested, made him feel less safe.
So what I can say to you is that as far as I know this year and today, school resource officers were on site. We will take the time to look at the data that identifies what were those numbers in the past years, and also be very diligent around providing as much resources as we can to increase that as needed. If that student shared that with you, and I believe that the child did, then we own the need to examine that. I can't speak to last year, as you know, but I certainly can speak to right now and moving forward.
Dr. Herring, I know we asked the police this, but are you able to speak to anything about the metal detectors here at this school property?
So I'm very careful to not address anything tied to the investigation. I will simply say to you that there are metal detectors here at Huffman High School. They are used, but I can't, and they work, but I will not speak to anything tied to the investigation.
How do we make sure that this school and the rest of the Birmingham City Schools are a gun-free zone? Just down the street, gun at Huffman Middle School, now here, a gun inside the school.
That is not a Birmingham City Schools dilemma alone. That is much broader. We take responsibility for what we have to do, but that's a broader community question as well. And so that is something that we own, having to increase the dialogue and the conversation and immediate action. But we start with increased security presence and practices, but we also partner. And partnership is going to be a key role in the continued heightening of that type of reality.
Well, I know there's an active investigation going on. Just want to remind all of us we lost a person today, and not just a person, a student. But I'm quickly reminded this is just not a student, this is someone's daughter, someone's niece, someone's best friend, someone's granddaughter we lost. This is a 17-year-old who 30 days from now would be 18. A graduating senior who had been accepted into college already, who had aspirations and dreams to be a nurse. So we're not just talking about some person. We're talking about losing a part of our future. And our hearts are heavy, and I think it's really important that we find a way to mourn with this family. I think it's really important that we wrap our arms around the Huffman High School community, the Birmingham City Schools system and our entire Birmingham community is in mourning and grief right now. And while there are many questions, this investigation will exhaust itself and your questions will be answered. But it's really, really important that we just take the time to realize a life was lost.
We're going to let them move on back now.
Chief,
Bottom
has an
board.
arrest been made?
No.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Will students be excused tomorrow if they want to stay home, Superintendent?
We will be open tomorrow. That is the choice of parents and students, but Birmingham City Schools, Huffman High School will be open to receive our children tomorrow.
All right, thank you, everybody. We'll keep you up to date. We will follow up with you.
That's Mr. Attorney.
All right. So there's the news conference there, live breaking just after 6 o'clock. You're watching WIAT CBS 42, and the final words there, school will be open tomorrow at Huffman High School.
With a crisis plan in place,